My name is Christina Jones, and I am a kindergarten teacher at Bricky McLeod. Hey, Bricky Bears, I miss you. I hope you're doing so well. This lesson is the kindergarten math lesson for Activity 2, and it is on teen numbers. So the standard for this video is standard that says compose and decompose numbers from 11 to 19 into 10 ones and some more ones by using objects or drawings. Record the composition or decomposition using a drawing or by writing an equation. So I'm going to help us understand that today. We are going to break down and see what does that mean for us in kindergarten and how can we get there together. So through the course of this video, it is going to go along with the packet that you can find on the KCS at Home Resources website if you click on Student Resources. So today, in this activity, we will practice counting teen numbers, and we will use number bonds and 10 frames to help us understand teen numbers. So you might be thinking to yourself, well, how will you know if you understand? Well, at the end of this video, you should be able to count in order from 10 all the way to 20. You will be able to recognize, you'll know what it looks like when you see a teen number, and you will also be able to tell what that number is with a drawing or an equation. And the third thing, so that you will know you understand this video, is that you can explain a teen number as one group of 10 and some extra ones. So as we get started, if you're having a hard time understanding what I am saying, you might try to slow the speed down or turn on the closed captionings for this video. And then you might want to listen to part of it, pause the video, really think about it, and you might need to watch it again, and that's okay. And then always, that's a good idea, is to watch this video with somebody at home. Let them be your partner. We know in our classrooms, we do a lot of partner talks, and we turn and talk to the person that sits beside us, our shoulder partner, or somebody at our table. So if you can find somebody to watch this video with you, then you all will be able to talk to each other to make sure you understand what's going on. All right, let's get started. At the very beginning of every lesson in my classroom, I love to tell about some important vocabulary that we need to know for the lesson. So one important vocabulary that we need to know for today is teen number. What does that mean? Well, a teen number is a number that is one group of 10 and some extra ones. So below me, you see all of these numbers. They're all different colors. I love to use lots of colors. These are all the teen numbers that we have. It's all the numbers between 10 and 20. And when we write those teen numbers, we have to put the 1 first, and then we put the other number. And the reason we put the number 1 first is because it's one group of 10. That's what that 1 even means. So right here, I have the number 11, and that means I have one group of 10, and I have one extra 1. This is the number 12. 12 is written with a 1 and a 2. That means I have one group of 10 and I have 2 extra 1s. This is the number 13. 13 is written as a 1 and a 3. That means I have one group of 10 and I have 3 extra 1s. This is the number 14, a 1 and a 4. The 1 means one group of 10. The 4 means 4 extra 1s. This is the number 15. You see it's written with a 1 and a 5. That means I have one group of 10 with 5 extra 1s. This is the number 16. It's a 1 and a 6. It's one group of 10 and 6 extra 1s. This is the number 17. 17 is a 1 and a 7. It's one group of 10 and 7 extra 1s. This is the number 18. 18 is a 1 and an 8. It's one group of 10 and 8 extra 1s. And finally, this is the number 19. 19 is a 1 and a 9. It's one group of 10 and 9 extra 1s. These are all of our teen numbers. Let's count them in order. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. If you can count all of those by yourself, then you are doing great. So let's practice counting with teen numbers. Now, when I see a group of objects that I have to count, I think to myself, how am I going to keep up with all of this? There are so many. Well, one little tip that I like to use is that when I get to 10, I'm going to circle all of the ones I just counted that make up my group of 10, and then I can count the extra ones, and it really helps me break it down so that my mind doesn't have too many things counting or going on inside of it. So help me count to the number 10 today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I see 10 birds. I'm going to go ahead and circle that group of 10, those 10 birds. They're hummingbirds, by the way. And then I want to count the extras. There's 1, 2, 3. Well, when I have a group of 10 and 3 extra ones, I have to write the 1 first for my group of 10, and then I have to write the 3. And it looks like this, a 1 and a 3, and that makes the number 13. If I counted all of them without stopping, I should get to the number 13. Let me try that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I did it. Great. Now, I bet some of you are missing baseball. My favorite thing to do in the summertime is go to baseball games, and I like to keep score the whole time and write down the score and keep up with everybody that has gotten out or they've gotten on base or they've made it home. So I put some baseballs on here today. I thought maybe we could count those together. Now, I see a whole lot of baseballs, and I need to count all of them. So I'm going to count to 10. I'm going to circle that group of 10, and then I'm going to count the extra ones just to help my mind break it down a little bit more. Count these with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's a group of 10, and I've circled it. Now my mind can move on to the ones that I have left, the extra ones. Let's count those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A group of 10 and 6 extra ones is written like this, a 1 and a 6, and that makes the number 16. If I want to, I can say 10, and I can just start with 10 because I've already circled that group and I know that it's 10, so I don't have to go back and recount it. I can say 10, and then I can keep counting on 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. A 1 and a 6, 16. All right, let's see if you can try this one. This one is a group of pencils. We know we're not really at school right now, but we can still count and find out how many pencils we have. They're a great thing to have at school. Go ahead and count the pencils today. Can you find a group of 10? I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm going to circle that group of 10. That's a good little trick to know. Helps our brains. And then we just have to count the extra ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, how do we write the number that is a group of 10 and 5 extra ones? The group of 10. That's right, the 1 has to go first, and then we write the 5. That is the number 15. If you said 15, you are hanging with me and I'm loving it. So here we have 10, and then if I keep counting on 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Well, in your packet that goes along with this video, you're going to notice that you have some things to do by yourself. So in the video today, I'm not going to be working those with you necessarily, but some of the things we're going to be doing should help you be able to do them by yourself later. So if you want to watch now and then do the packet by yourself, that's great. Or if you want to watch this part and then pause and do this part in the packet, the ones that go along with this, you can do that as well. So in the packet, you will notice there are some pictures of some cubes. And the task asks us to color the first 10 cubes red, and then we have to color 3 more cubes green, and then we have to circle the number that represents or shows the total number of cubes. Well, so I'm thinking in my head, well, that's a lot of direction. So let's break it down. The first thing we want to do is color the first 10 cubes red. Well, let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can color those 10 red. Easy. Then the second thing I have to do is color 3 more cubes green. I think we can do that as well. 1, 2, 3. Those are green. Now, did I color all of the cubes today? No, I did not. And that's okay. The directions told me to color the first 10 red, color 3 more green. And then it wants us to circle the number that represents the total number of cubes. And that word represents just means it shows. So remember, part of what we're doing today is being able to recognize and to tell about those teen numbers. So looking at the numbers at the bottom of the screen, which one would show a group of 10 and 3 extra ones? Is it 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, or 19? Well, a group of 10 and 3 extra ones is a 1 and a 3, and that is the number 13. Let's do a different one. This one says color the first 10 cubes red. Well, we've done that before, so I think we're going to be able to do that one again. Color the extras a different color. It doesn't really tell me how many extras, it just tells me the extras. So we're gonna have to see how many extras we have. And then again, the last thing we'll do is circle the number that represents the total number of cubes. So let's count out 10 because the first thing we have to do is color the first 10 cubes red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm gonna color those red. And then color the extras a different color. Well, I'm going to use blue today, but if you don't have blue at your house, that's okay. We just want to pick something different than red or the first color. Maybe you didn't have red and you already had to use a different color. It's not a big deal. What we want to be able to see is that our group of 10 is a different color than our extras. So I have to color all of those extras. Well, I don't even really have to count because if I'm coloring the extras, all of those, I'm just going to color all those white boxes I see blue. And there they are. But now I have to circle the number that represents the total number of cubes. Well, how will I figure that out? I see a group of 10, that's red, but then let's count the blue cubes to see how many we colored blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have a group of 10, and then we have 5 extra ones. Well, which number down here shows a group of 10 with 5 extra ones? It's the number 15. It's a 1 and a 5. The 1 is the red group of 10, and the 5 is the 5 extra ones that we colored. It's the 5 blue ones. Great. You'll have some more of those in your packet that you can do by yourself. Well, now we have another vocabulary word, and the reason I waited until we got to this part of the video to share it instead of at the beginning is because we weren't really using it yet. But the vocabulary word is number bond. And you might think, number bond? That doesn't even sound like anything I've ever heard of. But a number bond is when we have numbers that are strongly connected. They're very much hooked together. And if we take away one of them, our number bond is not connected anymore. So a number bond for today's video is the two numbers that we can add together to find a sum. So right here, I've got a picture of my number bond. I see a big circle at the top, and on your packet, they're really more rectangles, and that's okay. They're all still hooked together. So I see a big circle at the top, and then I see two smaller circles at the bottom. And you see this little line? They're all hooked together. And if I take one of my little numbers away, then I won't have my big number, and see, then I won't really have a number bond. They won't be connected anymore. But I see that in my smaller circles, I have a 10 and I have a 6. And if I take 10 and add 6 more, that's going to make the number 16. Remember, a number bond is two numbers we can add together to find a sum. And so I see the number 10 plus 6 equals 16. 10 and 6 more is the same as 16. And I know from the classroom this year that when I'm adding, I can take my add-ins and I can switch them around. So instead of saying 10 plus 6, I can say 6 plus 10, and it's the same thing. If I start with 6 and add 10 more, it's still going to be the same as 16. So 10 plus 6 equals 16. 6 plus 10 equals 16. Now I know that equal sign, it helps me balance my equation. It makes them the same on both sides. So I can also start with 16 and say that 16 is the same as 10 plus 6. 16 is the same as 6 plus 10. So this is how I'm going to use my number bond today. I'm going to be using my add-ins or the little circles, and I have to add them together to find the sum that fits in the big circle at the top. So let's use those today. So here's my number bond at the bottom. Right now it's empty. And our job right now is to figure out what numbers can fill up the number bond. I see that I have two 10 frames. Remember, a 10 frame has 10 boxes in it. So I have two 10 frames, and I've got yellow counters in one, and I have blue counters in the other. I notice on this side, in my first 10 frame where the yellow counters are, every box on my 10 frame is filled up. That means I have 10. I don't even have to count them. I know that it's 10. But maybe you're not as strong in counting yet and you need to count them, and that is okay. I will count them with you today. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See? It has 10. And then I notice in this 10 frame that there's 1, 2, 3 blue counters. So in my number bond, these are going to be the two little circles at the bottom. The first little circle, I'm going to put a 10 because I had 10 yellow counters. The second 10 frame only had 3, so I'm going to write a 3 in the other small circle. And when I have a group of 10 and 3 more, and I add these two together, 10 plus 3 more, that's going to make the teen number 13, a group of 10 and 3 more. And that's how I fill in my number bond. But maybe we have our number bond and we have our 10 frames and we have a little bit of information in both, but we don't have all the information we need. So we're going to work together now to fill in those missing pieces. I like to think about it like a puzzle. And I don't know about you, but I like to work a good puzzle. So I'm noticing I still have two 10 frames and I still have a number bond. I'm noticing that one of my 10 frames is all filled up. I'm noticing the other 10 frame has nothing in it. And I'm noticing that on my number bond, I don't have a big number in the circle at the top, but I do have two numbers filled in the little circles on the bottom. And so in the first little circle, I have a 10, and I'm thinking that that goes with the 10 frame that's all filled up. The 10 yellow counters make this number 10 in my number bond. This little circle, the 8, I think that means we've got to put 8 blue counters back on the second 10 frame. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's check and make sure I did it because 8 is smaller or less than 10. So I've got to make sure that I only put in 8. I don't fill up that 10 frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I did okay on that one. Now when I'm thinking in my head, a group of 10 and 8 more, and I've got to add those together to figure out what number goes at the top of the number bond. And I know a group of 10 and 8 more makes the teen number 18. It's a 1 and an 8. But maybe I wasn't very sure about that. So one other strategy I could use would be to say 10, and then I could count on 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. When we count all of the counters, we have 18 counters. We've showed it on a 10 frame, and we can show it on the number bond. So let's try another one. Well, this time, wow, we have a different set of information, and it's still like working a puzzle. We've got to fill in those missing pieces to get it all put together. I notice we have two 10 frames. One is filled up, the other one has nothing in it. And I notice on my number bond that I have the big number this time at the top of the number bond, but I don't have my smaller numbers at the bottom. So that's our job right now, is to figure out the two numbers that fill in the number bond and complete that number bond. And how many counters are we going to put on that empty 10 frame? Or are we going to put any at all? Let's figure it out. All right, so I see that the number at the top of the number bond is a 1 and a 2, and that's the teen number 12. That means one group of 10 and two more. So I'm noticing that there are already 10 counters on this 10 frame. I bet I could write the number 10 in the first small circle that I see at the bottom of the number bond. So what do I do with this 2? What does that mean? I think that means I have 2 extra 1s. So I can break down my number bond as a 10 and 2 more, or a 10 and 2 extra 1s. And that means on this 10 frame, I need to finish this number bond over here by putting 2 blue counters in the second 10 frame. Does that make sense to you? I hope so. Let's try one more. Wow, this one has hardly any information at all. This is where it's really our time to shine and show what we're learning. So I see in our number bond, we have the number 14. It's at the top of the number bond. It's the biggest circle. That tells me that's the largest number. That's the teen number that we're working with. And we need to be able to break it down. So how can we break it down? Well, I'm thinking about the number 14, and I know that 14 is a teen number. That means I have a group of 10, and I have 4 extra 1s. So I'm going to go ahead and break that down today. I'm going to put a 10 in one of the small circles and a 4 in the other small circles. That shows that 14 can be decomposed. Remember, that was part of that standard, and I said I was going to help you understand that today. It can be broken down. 14 can be decomposed. It can be broken down into a group of 10 and 4 extra 1s. And then I need to show that on the 10 frame. So how is that going to look on our 10 frame today? Well, I know that a group of 10 fills up a 10 frame, and then on the second 10 frame, I can put 4 extra 1s. So here's my 10 yellow counters, and I filled it all up. I see every box has a yellow counter in it, and each box only has 1. That's important with a 10 frame. Then I want to put the 4 extra 1s, and I'm going to use blue on that one. That shows 10 and 4 more. So in our activity today, we've been practicing counting teen numbers. We did that one at the very beginning. We started and we counted from 10 all the way to 20, and we got every teen number in there. Let's check in and see how you're doing on that. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And if you could count all of those in order, you're doing just fine. Then we're using some number bonds and some 10 frames to help us understand teen numbers. And if you could do that with me today, and you're following along and it's making sense to you, then you're doing a great job as well. So can you count in order from 10 to 20? That was one of our goals today. Can you recognize teen numbers and tell what that number is with a drawing or an equation? Let me ask a question. When I write a teen number, which number always has to come first? I hope you said the 1. The 1 will always come first in a teen number. Why? Because our last thing was to explain that a teen number is one group of 10 and some extra 1s. The 1 has to be first because it is one group of 10. The other number tells how many extra 1s we have. Thank you for joining me in today's lesson. If any part of this video was confusing for you, I would encourage you to watch it again. Maybe turn on those closed captionings if you didn't the first time. Maybe watch little pieces, pause, watch again if you didn't do that the first time. And if you didn't grab somebody to watch it with you this time, grab somebody and have them watch it with you today. I'm Miss Jones, and I'll see you later. Thanks.